Hi and welcome. This is Reverend Dr. Elena Lynn Michelle with Angel Messages with Elena. Thank you for joining me. We're gonna go and do a couple more messages, but I want to let you know how I'm feeling, because it seems like what I'm feeling is really related to messages that I've been getting. So talk about the Gemini that was in the last reading. I do have a Gemini oven from Maytag that I purchased in 2010. It was a 2009 model. I do have a daughter who's born under the Gemini stars, and she's in basic training and she's really having a difficult time. All right, so I don't know, she went in there real positive, and she said, I've only gotten pictures, I haven't gotten any letters or phone calls. So, you know, as a mom, you get worried. To know also that my children was stolen from me from a narcissistic, abusive husband, which it's been 10 years. He hasn't grown up. He's still a real, you know, piece of work. So he doesn't even know. He did not support me when I was in the military. He not patriotic. He could care less. Everything is about his farming business, and that's it. His family, he stands behind people. He's really a charmer. The narcissistic attitude was also in the last reading. It was just like when I stepped away from it, it reminded me things of my past. So my daughter feels really defeated. I mean, a picture is 1,000 words. If you could get a picture of your loved ones, I think your heart would just shatter just like mine. So mine has been really like raw, heartbroken. I feel her disappointment in herself. And I think, not just, you know, somebody's going through basic training, but what's not to say that your loved one is feeling these things, and we're just tapping into that loss, because we are considered the survivors, right? There's survivor's guilt of those who make it through a situation, but there's those who are, you know, here left behind that feels the same way. So I'm really tapping into all of those energies. I can breathe easier, but my heart is still sore. So this is a very physical reaction and a physical feeling. This is not just spiritual, okay? So what you're feeling, I'm validating that it is okay to feel those things. Now let's just improve upon that, because a couple things that have been coming to mind as I'm getting ready for this reading. Our mind has the tendency to not fill in the gap of when you saw your loved ones. So when, say it was a year ago, your daughter was 20 years old and now she's 21 and a half, right? So a year and a half, maybe sooner. This is just an example. Our brain doesn't have the tendency to fill in this gap, this gap of a year. And what we do is our brain goes back to the past of where you left off, right? When your daughter was whole, when your daughter can do, or son can do all these wonderful things, and then now she's being returned home and she's broken. All right, she's alone. She's been through battles and she's been through so much. You know, the images are coming to me, I don't even want to say, because they're really horrific. So we had a tendency to try to bring them home, to sedate them, to try to live like nothing was wrong. All right, but however, there is something. Your daughter, your son is scarred, you know, needs healing, needs sympathy ears. Sometimes anger comes to the situation, not just anger towards parents, you know, because we're here. Sometimes they just throw punches at us, because they're working through things, but also that they're beating themselves up that they allowed themselves to be in a situation that they shouldn't. Right? So to know that no matter who you are, if you are the parent, or if you're the child returning, or the parent returning to your child, to know that you did everything that you could have done. All right? You did everything you could have done with the knowledge that you had. There's no other way that it could have happened any worse or any better. Okay? So I wanted to just mention that. So when your children are coming home, your parents are coming home, to know to give yourselves patience and give love, give time to be alone, but time to really be together. Don't go into going to psychiatrists who are giving pain and psychiatric medicine. Psychiatrists are not doctors in that sense. My roommate was overdosed by a psychiatric doctor, right? Did not know the consequences, did not know medicines, and about killed him. And then said it was his overdose. I mean, all the doctors are like supporting that it was his fault, but we watched him and his blood pressure went so far down low. So, and that was through a VA. Right? So just to know, psychiatrists are not doctors. So be careful. Alright, so I'm going into the timing. The time, it's called It's Time and All Its Meanings. This is understanding time, and you know, the message is that wants to come through for you. We'll see what happens here. So yeah, I just kind of feel there's still a lot of pressure in the front forehead. So don't work so hard. Allow things to happen. Don't also validating your emotions and what you will be going through is control. Let go of that control and just allow things to happen, okay? That we can't control everything, and that's what doctors, and that's what, you know, other people, narcissists, persons who want to have control over people, make people, put people in fear. I mean, God is a God who wants peace and harmony. Our bodies will naturally want to be with those who bring peace. And so if your child is wanting to go to church, if your child is wanting to go to the park, do it. All right? Because that is the body wanting to go and do those things. If terrors that happen over and over and over again is actually your body telling you it's time to let go. However, because we use our brain too much, we put ourselves into night terrors over and over again because we lack that understanding. We lack listening to our bodies. When I understood that, because I was from an abusive home, I had night terrors even 4 years after my mom had died. I was still getting these night terrors of her trying to get me. Okay, and then I had to do that again when I left my ex-husband, because he was also a stalker and abuser. Tried to, you know, get me back into his control and use lawyers to do it as well. So I kind of know a lot about control and how to really release that. But to know there's things in the bodies that we have to listen to our bodies in order for this to come for freedom. Okay, it's a process. You have to do both the physical and the spiritual realm for body to become one again. All right, so the first card we're getting is Rebecca, is the 14. So Rebecca is in that quadrant. in this quadrant of the 1-4, the 14. Okay, so it's the quadrant, usually we go clockwise. In the feminine, it goes counterclockwise. So that's where you find Rebecca. She, her name means to tie and secure. All right, so she's going to tie and secure the bonds through the 14th generation, to those of us who are coming to change the world for the better. That is me, that is many others, and that is Matthew 1, where it talks about the 14th generation. So Rebecca is about the first part of the Bible. Everything that has happened in the very first portion of the Bible, it was under Rebecca. All right, our next card is to awake and to empower, to do the action. The 444 is your angels are with you. You are called to go into the solar plexus of healing, right? The sun illuminates and radiates. It's time to wake up, to have this understanding that there's other ways of doing things that are better and healthier for our bodies and for the mental and emotional stability for those who are coming home. Then we have water. Water is also I have assigned to the air, which is the triangle with the line through it. It's also the 222. It's have faith, trust and assurance. We don't know why we're put into these situations, okay? So to know that there's life lessons that we can learn and we can help others. So, what you have been going through, what others have went through, there is thousands of lost and missing children and women and men who are going to be depending on your support as well. So 49 days from today, mark that in the calendar. That's going to be really crucial for you. So that's going to be into August. So it's 6 weeks from today. I want to say it's going to be the second Sunday of August. Mark that in your calendar. The diamond and the emerald are going to have significant meetings for you. So diamonds or prisms and emeralds, which is a green color. All right, those are going to have significant meanings. Diamonds is closest to our natural body and vibration and energy. And one thing that you can trust on diamonds is you can direct the energy to where your energy needs it the most. All right, and then we have Saturday. This is a Saturday card. So yesterday was Saturday, it could be next Saturday, it could be, on a Saturday. Saturday is about things that are sitting, things are reflecting. It's time to reflect on how God has already done things through the angels to help you. At one time, you personally, have you been rescued? Have you been in a near car accident? Have you diverted from an accident or collision? Has the angels helped any of your other children? All right, these are miracles that we need to tap into to bring us, continue into the miracle that of healing, of joy, of resolution for things, your children coming home. All right, so we need to tap into the things that God has already done for you. Maybe you're, kind of really cut off and it's just like you have no feeling, you have no memory. I mean, that's trauma too. So you're all gonna go through trauma, and then you're gonna be put here together, and it's gonna be happy for a little bit, and then it's gonna be disruptive because you both are gonna be working through your traumas of your loved one not being there, and then your loved one coming home after it's been gone through so much. Saturn is the planet. It's my personal planet. I tap into the god of Saturn for time and transcendence, of space as well. So that's why my messages, no matter when you listen to them, will have an effect on you, and you will learn from them. So go and look at my past videos that I've done, and go to my Facebook page. There's more on there. So stillness, this is about the returning of your loved ones. When the Ark of the Covenant was sat, it was put into a sit position, they carried it, but when they put into a sit position, they said, "Return, O Lord, to many thousands of Israel." So it's about the return, okay? The returning is happening. And it's under Rebecca, Ty, and Secure. Now we're tapping into heart, into the miracle. This is your miracle of your heart's desire. It's green. It's bringing in freshness and beauty. It's also the 45 card. 4 is about order. 5 is about water. So water comes into this again. 5 is also miracles. When you tap into the 528 megahertz, it transforms your body to be miracles. So I would definitely listen to some music that is in that 528 megahertz. There's a lot of it on YouTube, and start listening to it for you to get healing first while you're in this waiting position. You're going to need it. It's going to charge you back up as well, so that you can be useful, because you can't be useful if you're worried, right? I'm a worried mom. I hardly got any sleep. Worried about my daughter and how she's going to make it, how she's coming home feeling ashamed, and like she's let us all down. And she hasn't. All we have ever asked, is to do the best as she can. And so that's, what you as a parent are going to say to your son or daughter is like, you did the best you can, and that's all we could have ever asked of you. You have not let us down. All right? So we have to constantly be in that encouraging mode. So this is the 19 card. It is another air card, 10. Tending is, sometimes there's things you have to cut to prune. So this is there's a lot about farming and gardening. So gardening to tend is talking to your plants, talk positive, because your plant is your child, is the people around you, your environment, pulling out the weeds. That's the tending. You're going to pinch off the leaves that you don't need. Sometimes you're going to take off the fruit that is late in harvesting, so the other fruit towards the top will get the nourishment and become a fruit that can be used. Again, it's tapping into the 49 days from today. So that's the second Sunday of August. I'm kind of thinking it's the 11th of August. So 8/11. Sapphire and topaz are also going to be stones that are going to have an effect on you. The sapphire is the truth. It will bring truth to light. So in this process, truth is going to be coming to the surface. Truth of things that should have been said or did say, or truth, to your case and to your file. Truth to the angels are beings, and they are around us, that God is living. And then we could tap into topaz. And topaz to me is, another healing stone. It's tap into affirmations and tap into topaz is also under the month of November. So the new fire, you're getting an energy and the fire within you. When you're tapping into these positive energies, because this is very positive spread for you to get your healing as well. The sacral is the orange, and that is, you know, the sexual energy. And we need to have a good, healthy sense of our genders, and you know that sex is good, because some of these women are coming back from sex trafficking. They're gonna be so closed off and so blocked in that area, numb. So eventually that's gonna have to be open for energy to flow throughout your body. So just kind of have an idea, if you are, you know, a spouse and your wife is coming home, she's not going to want to have sex. And it's not because she doesn't love you. It's because she was tortured and tormented in that beautiful and made it ugly for her. Okay? So we need to tap into, it's not all about us when they come back. Even though we need to work on ourselves, it's about them and getting their healing as well. And to be compassionate. Don't go into fights because you just don't know, you know, what to do. Sometimes that gets communication going, but sometimes it is in the quietness. It's into this, you know, not talking. This, we're coming into Mercury retrograde. We're probably already in it. You probably are not even understanding what I'm saying right now. But when you come and look back, it will make sense for you. That's how communications happen. There are like no air signs at all in the planetary systems. So there's like no communication. So my past readings are like right on with that. So to know it's okay. It's okay not to say anything. The most important thing is that you're there and that you're positive, and bring your environment into positivity. Some of the colors you can tap into is dark blues and corals. Those are the most powerful healing colors combined that will bring beautiful healing, beautiful love. So really tap into those colors. Wear those colors when you receive your loved one back in. Put it on their you know, as a definite or comforter on their beds. These are very healing colors, and put it in the living room where they're gonna, you know, they're gonna want to try to acclimate back into their society, back into their environment. So the most things that you can help them with is with color. It's with love. It's with understanding. It's with compassion, because you probably have no idea what they went through. And the other thing is, they're going to want to talk about it. You know, the best thing for them to do is talk to it into a recorder and delete it. Because you're going to get triggered. Everybody else is going to get triggered. Psychiatrists and psychologists, I don't think it's, you know, the best to talk about the things that are going to keep triggering people. Because if you don't know how to cleanse it out of your body, all they're going to do is trigger you into sadness and sorrow and pain, right? And they're going to listen to it, and they're going to keep getting triggered. So once you have them talking to the recorder, and it's like, okay, now with this button, we're going to delete it, and all of these things have been taken from you. Words are powerful. It's like you are released, and then you have to fill them up with love, joy, and peace again of the divine. If you need help with that, I do healing sessions, and that is on Etsy at The Star of Destiny. I've been doing this since 2011 after I got my own healing, and I took it to the world in 2012 and helped veterans and other people with trauma and loss. Alright, so we're going to let Divine Mother come to the table and to give you a couple of messages. Divine Mother loves all her children. There's nothing more that she wants is to bring your children home and then to heal them. Alright, so we have the goddess Ocean. Ocean reminds me of the ocean. We're big and expansive, and that's how generous that Divine Mother is here. And I'm just going to go right into the next card because it's Gaia, his Earth. So many people see Earth as mother because she supports us. We plant things in the ground and it grows. Okay, so there's places where things can't grow, but there's many places that Earth supports us into mother, and that's how we kind of represent, you know, women who have a uterus that can give life, and we are creative, and we make creation. So there's a generosity that is being brought to you, in such a loving way, and to tap into those resources that you are getting, and to remember to take those blessings and share some of those blessings with others, because this is law of attraction. The more you're generous, the more generosity comes back to you. Doesn't mean that you have to share 100%, because divine never ever asked you to give 100%. It's always been 1/10 of the blessings that it's been generous to give back to God. Another 10th you give for charity and love. Then we have the goddess Artemis, and she's a goddess about focus. She's the archer. It's like, this time we're going to hit the mark, and we're going to hit it straight on, and you're not going to lose your focus. So there might be a lot of information. That's why these are recorded. These are on YouTube, that you can listen to these over and over and over again. This is free. YouTube is free for you to tap into. I do a lot of generous things to give back, so that I can also receive. So be open to receive. Be open to giving, and be open to asking. The asking part for your loved one, when you ask them what is it that they want, they may not even know, because they're so shot down. As a mother, the first things that I want to say is, I want to sing lullabies. I want to hug and rock and hold my babies. Yeah, that is probably what they're needing the most as well, because you both will get healing from it. So yeah, this is a trigger mode for me as well. Tapping into a lot of things that I have worked with, and God has just really soaked it back into me. So now I will have to work on my own self with you, so that we can get into that healing mode. So then we have the goddess Green Terra. She's about salvation. So it's tapping into generosity, and, you know, Gaia, Mother Earth. We are tapping into that there is salvation, that you don't have to be in this pit in fear anymore, right? No guilt, no more guilt, no more fear, no more loss. That you don't have to wish that you were dead to go to heaven. You would be surprised how many Christians even say this: I can't wait to go to heaven, which means they would physically have to die to do that. But we can make heaven on earth, and this is our salvation for humanity, is that we can have it right here, right now. It can happen. Earth, Mother Earth, Gaia, she's changing for us so that we can have this. We have to have crud in order to have peace and harmony. Then we have Yi, which is the goddess of the sun. She's about creativity. She's about illumination and being radiant and glowing. I want to say there's going to be a lot of self-care that's going to have to happen. There's going to have to be, you know, times salt vinegar baths are going to be your #1 thing to get through this, for pain, for negative emotions, for all of these things. It reminds you of when you were in your mama's womb. I had a client tell me that, and she loved her baths, and she would actually hold her nose and submerge herself completely underwater until she ran out of air, popped out, got air, and went right back in. It's so very healing, that you have Mother around you in salt and in this vinegar. And then when you get out, you take a normal shower, and then you apply yourself with oil. This is also alchemy, and this also raises your energy, right? We get food that is energy. Olive oil can go through your skin and apply the proteins that you need through this process as well, especially if you're not eating. So olive oil is really good for skin It's really good to amplify positive energies. And you're going to feel really good after that. Then we're going to get Hecate. She's the in-between. She's those of us that in our journey and in our trauma that we just don't know which way to go, right? Is it easier just to die, or is it easier just to live? You're going to encounter that. There may be a fear that you may even have, but I believe that if you choose to have life and go through the salvation and go through this aftermath that is going to happen, that your loved one is going to go to, they're going to have so much things to process that they're going to need as much support and comfort as you can give them. Sometimes we don't know what to give them, but it's okay. Just let your angels talk to you. So many people do not tap into the supernatural that is there around us. They're giving you messages, they're giving you symbols, and they're giving people like me, oracle readers and tarot readers, you know, the ability to tap into that, to give you messages, to turn something, you know, upside down into something upright and usable. And, you know, that's why a lot of us are here, so that you guys can have healing. It's not about us. I'm already healed. I've already went through my journey. I'm classified as guru teacher. I don't have to be here. I could go out and do my own things, but it's because I choose to be one with the divine and to help humanity to get through where you need to go. And the things that I went through in the military and through all of my life, because I have only been healed since when I was 42 years old. That has only been 7 years that I have been healed. I have been through trauma and abuse most of my life. So I know what I'm talking about. And to have peace of mind where you can sleep and where you can, you know, have love and you can have laughter, and even being separated from your children, it is okay to live. It's okay to tap into those resources, because if you tap into the negative for so long, you're going to get tumors, you're going to get cancer, because this is like, you're not allowing your body to live, you're actually letting your body deteriorate on the inside. You are allowing that. Not pharmaceuticals, not the food you eat. You, because you're not letting your body live. You're not allowing your body this energy, not just food, but this other energy to be, you know, to flow within you. So I want you to really, you know, focus on what, you know, start visualizing how you want your life back into something even more perfect than what it was before your loved one left. I think that's so crucial. So write down those as your goals. These are what you're going to manifest now, because I am agreeing with you for this victory, for this healing and perfect order in your family, in your organization, in your society, wherever you're at. I'm agreeing with you for perfect order for your environment as well. So yeah, when two or more are gathered in the name, God says, Jesus says, I am with you, God the Son. So I want to just leave you with this blessing that you can do this, that your children are coming home. This is a beautiful message of hope. I agree with you in prayer for peace and harmony, for perfect order. Yeah, the angels are with you. Don't ever forget your angels are always with you, okay? So thank you for joining me. I know towards the end it was kind of like, but I have to kind of like get a little bit of tapping of some kind of awakening within you, because I don't want you to be stuck. I see so many people stuck, and then they remember they have memorials and they just can't get stuck, and they will live the rest of their life in pain without living. And that is not what God has ever intended us. Is intended us to live. So go in peace, go in love, go in joy, and to know I am praying for each and every one of you. Bye-bye, my friends. I'll see you again.